What is good, everyone? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to another PE, Nintendo Switch, and gaming news video. Today we've got some awesome information to go into, in addition to a little discussion at the end, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So Mario+Rabbids Kingdom Battle producer, as far as pitching the game to Nintendo, the emotional reveal, and so much more. So if you guys don't know, Nintendo UK caught up with Mario+Rabbids Kingdom Battle developer and creative lead Devante, is it Davide? Something D-A-V-I-D-E, Solani. And Mr. Solani, he was the one who was shown as far as at the Ubisoft press conference, and he was kind of like crying when they talked about his game. He had Miyamoto on stage with Yves Guillaume, and you know, he just got all emotional there. And I wanted to talk about that because he was interviewed and he discussed the emotional reveal and lots of other things, but I wanted to talk about the emotional reveal and what he had to say. So this is what Mr. Solani had to say during that day on E3 and the emotional reveal of the game. It's not easy to answer you, but you can imagine the pressure on me because I'm just part of the team. I'm the creative director, so I feel pressure. On our shoulders was the responsibility of 3 years of development. Ubisoft took quite a big risk because we decided to embark on this game without knowing what the new Nintendo console would be or if the idea would be accepted. As a Nintendo player growing up with Miyamoto games, he was almost a father, telling me bedtime stories every night. Seeing Miyamoto-san on stage, I was not ready for him to call out my name. I felt like everything was finally realized, and I said, "Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry," but then I broke apart. Also, because a few rumors started on the internet prior to our announcement, a few people made their own assumptions about the game, but now they can play it and they have changed their minds. They're having fun, and that is the biggest reward ever. So the conference for me was a wave of emotion that I couldn't control, but I didn't know that it was spreading all over the internet until I discovered it the night after, because I was in the Nintendo booth ready to do a rehearsal for Nintendo Treehouse Live, and the guy stopped me saying, "You are super famous in China. You have more than 2 million views on our website," and showed me the picture of me crying. I said, "Oh no." So this is so cool. I love the rest of this interview. If you want to get like the rest of the information as far as like the pitch to Nintendo and all the other stuff, check out the link in the description below. But I just want to talk about this because this was such a great reveal, and I think that's why Ubisoft press conference was pretty much the winner for a lot of people as far as from the third-party developers and everything. And some people were putting it over Nintendo's E3 spotlight just because of the wide range of software, in addition to that part with Miyamoto and everything, and what Mr. Solani, the crying and all that stuff. But I think it's just so cool. There were so many great things, and I think that this strategy that Nintendo is doing with Ubisoft going to them. I mean, last time what did they try? They tried Zombie U. Didn't really work out. People didn't buy it as much as Ubisoft would have liked. So what do they do this time? Instead of doing something like that again, they actually say, well, let's use a Nintendo IP. It's a completely third-party developed game, but let's use a Nintendo IP, and I think we can have success with this as far as reaching Nintendo fans. And after playing this game, or after people seeing it, yeah, a lot of people are convinced, because a lot of people were hating on it. I had people, you know, when I found out about this game, I was like, oh, this is going to work when I saw it. But when other people found out about the leaked concept art, they're like, this is not going to work, this is going to suck, it's not going to be good. But after looking at the game, the graphics look beautiful, the gameplay looks awesome, looks like a Nintendo version of XCOM, and people are happy about it, and they've played it, and it works, and it's good. It's a good game. It's definitely not a bad game. So this is so cool to see him say that, and you know what, I'm happy that his dreams as far as what he wanted to do was realized up until this point. So shout outs to him, and shout outs to Ubisoft for having the cojones to actually do this, not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing the system, but going there with a strong pitch and a strong concept and putting it to Mr. Miyamoto and them getting it done. So that's really cool, and if you guys want to see the rest of the interview, make sure you check it out in the link description below. Alright, and moving on to the next article here. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 info on the resolution and the frame rate. So we do have a nice box art pick for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, at least in Japan. Who knows if the North American and European box arts will be the same, but this is what it looks like. In addition to that, we have some details on the resolution of the game, in addition to frame rate. So the game will be running in 900p in the TV mode. Now, when you're running in portable mode or any other type of modes, tabletop, anything like that, it will be 720p as expected. Now, one-on-one battles will be 60 frames per second, while other battles will be 30 frames per second. So if you had like the 3-on-3 or the tag teams, those will all be 30, but if you're playing one-on-one, which is the main thing that people usually play in Dragon Ball Xenoverse, that will be be 60 frames per second at 900p. So definitely not bad, not a crappy port based on this information here. Some people were even saying that it could be 720p just based on what Xenoverse is, a big wide open arena brawler type of game. But nope, it is definitely 900p, 60 frames per second one-on-one. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this game. And I think that if Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 does well, I think it will definitely spur Bandai Namco even more than they've already been spurred to get Dragon Ball FighterZ on the Nintendo Switch. But it's so funny when people talk about this game when it comes to Xenoverse 2 and Dragon Ball FighterZ. Xenoverse 2 was already in development pretty much a while ago at this point, and people were saying, oh, this is not the game that we wanted. The game was already announced a while ago, so it's not even if you wanted it or not. It was just a game that was announced back in Nintendo's January presentation that was going to come to the Switch. It's more third-party support that people are clamoring for. So there's no need to get upset about another game coming. In my opinion, Dragon Ball FighterZ, which people are really excited for as well, will also come, and I think that's going to be a quicker port than Xenoverse 2 would be, just because of the engines that they run on. You guys got to remember, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is running on Xenoverse 3. Not that that's a hard engine to port over to the Nintendo Switch, it supports it, but I think Unreal Engine 4, which is what Dragon Ball FighterZ runs on, is a lot easier to work with when it comes to the Nintendo Switch than Xenoverse 3, in my estimation, based on what we've heard with developers using Unreal Engine 4 and making ports, especially a 2D game. So I don't think they're really going to have any problems as far as getting Dragon Ball FighterZ on the Nintendo Switch after they're done with the PS4, Xbox One, and PC version. So let me know what you guys think about this information here. Are you guys going to be picking up Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 on the Nintendo Switch? I know I will, just so I can support Bandai Namco so we can get Dragon Ball FighterZ on the Nintendo Switch. Because yes, we can cry and complain and we can make as many videos as we want, but what it comes down to is money. What it comes down to is those sales, and if third-party developers don't see sales, we're not going to see the support. So if you're even marginally interested in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 for the Nintendo Switch, I would definitely say to pick it up because it does seem like a pretty solid port of the game. Alright, and moving on to the last article here and the discussion. Nintendo apologizes for the Nintendo Switch shortages in Japan, increasing shipments starting next month. So Nintendo Switch shortages have been a thing since March 3rd, since the system launched. There's been really limited stock at times. Nintendo shipped out that huge amount of 2.74 million in the first month since it was released, and since then it's just been sold out in all the major regions. Now, Nintendo did acknowledge this Switch shortage supply, and the company did apologize recently, and all the stuff, you know, all the negativity that comes with these type of shortages. But remember, once again, it is the component deal that's going on. Apple and lots of other tech companies from Foxconn are fighting for the same type of components to use to make their stuff. Nintendo Switch is no different than that, so yes, they are in a shortage. However, Nintendo did say that they will continue to ship more Switch units each week. Additionally, in July and in August, they will increase that shipment, especially with the Splatoon 2 bundle will be included with that. Production will increase this fall, so they're ramping up production. So Nintendo necessarily didn't confirm that article that said that they've increased production from 8 million to 16 million, but this pretty much confirms that when they said, hey, we're going to be ramping up production, that original rumor basically said, yeah, Nintendo's going to be ramping it up from 8 million to 16 million, and I think this is what the motions as far as the plan goes, what they're trying to do. I think Splatoon 2, you definitely need to make sure that you had enough. And if you look at the last weeks as far as the Japanese media create sales, Nintendo was able to push a little bit more out for the launch of ARMS, which is good, and I think that they got some out there, but I didn't see my usual stock at like Walmart and Best Buy, and they were just like gone. So I talked to the employees there, and all of them were saying that, yeah, we only got like 25 to 30 units this time instead of the normal 40 to 50 at Best Buy. So I was like, okay, whoa, hold up. It's a little bit of a decrease there. Then the same thing happened at Walmart. They usually get around 25 at my Walmart. This time they said that they got around 17 or so. So I think possibly Nintendo is definitely feeling some shortages, especially at this point, but they need to make sure that they have stock for Splatoon, and they did say that, yeah, we're going to be ramping it up. So make sure you look out at your Best Buys and at your Walmarts or wherever you like to go for video games and all that stuff. Make sure you look out for that probably at the end of July here. Each week be checking in, making sure that you're calling if you still haven't got one yet, and then especially like Splatoon 2. Like that will probably be where Nintendo says, okay, we're going to have shipments there. We're going to make sure, because they did the same thing with Mario Kart. When Mario Kart 8 Deluxe launched, there was a ton of Nintendo Switch units, and I posted pictures on Twitter if you follow me there. So I think Splatoon 2 is another one of those really huge titles where it has a lot of pre-orders, so Nintendo knows they need to get shipments out then and there. So if you're looking at getting one, Splatoon 2 is probably your best bet as far as around that time, but of course check anytime that you can. Alright guys, that wraps up this video here. Check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on all of our social media. It really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also make sure you check out our Patreon page. Pledge any tier, even at the lowest one, and get the bulk of the great perks, benefits, and rewards from Discord voice chat, monthly giveaways, and we also have $10 prize eShop tournaments for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We'll have ARMS, Smash Brothers, and much more, including Salmon Run with Splatoon. So make sure you check out the Patreon page and support PE Live and PE Arena right here on PlayerEssence. Also make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. It lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you ninja for the next video. Peace.